Welcome to Bituminous Kole. The conventional wisdom says that once a railroad corridor loses its tracks, it's gone. Gone forever. Well, good people, I'm delighted to report a notable exception in my fair state of Indiana. CSX removed former Monon Railroad tracks in the mid-1990s. The Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District put them back. And beginning this month, South Shore commuter trains rolled in the Monon Corridor once more. If the term railbanking makes you roll your eyes, if rail trails seem like a death sentence for trains, this is the video for you.
And there's the trail. Rails with trails, people. That's the way.
Let's go to the Monon Corridor. Let's go to the South Shore commuting. Let's go to the trains. The new South Shore trackage begins in the north at Hammond, at the Hammond Gateway Station, and extends southerly to the Munster Dyer Station. The Dyer location is interesting in a few ways. Amtrak's Dyer Station is about 0.2 of a mile from the end of the South Shore tracks. I hope the gap will be closed someday soon to improve connectivity. Also, the new South Shore Monon Corridor tracks run parallel to the original Monon tracks, now CSX. All right, let's ride. Now, I've actually ridden twice, once with my pal Craig Bell, the second time as part of my Amtrak trip to Oklahoma City to ride the Heartland Flyer. I made a detour because, well, why not?
All right, we're going to ride the Monon Corridor for the first time on the South Shore.
The first ride out of Hammond was on bi-level Metra coaches. Craig and I zipped up to the upper level for maximum views. Now, the windows were unfortunately tinted green. I mean, I'm sure commuters appreciate this dimming effect on direct sunlight on hot days, but it didn't do much for the photography. But here it is. Let's see the views.
On the move with all the glare you could hope for. On the South Shore. We're at the Hammond Gateway, and we're about to turn southerly onto the Monon. New Monon connector. And that is CSX down there. We saw two freights come by as we were pulling into the parking. Sitting in high-level Metra coaches, 2-level. I don't know what the proper term is, but we're up high, like the proper emperors we are. train horn. We're cooking. past the cemetery over there. What's the speed you got on there, Greg?
67, 68 miles an hour.
Show me.
68
Nice.
miles an hour.
Look at that.
On the Munster line.
That's fantastic.
Hammond off 173rd Street, Southend.
Let's see how long the station dwell time is here. Not long at all. A minute. Not even.
Well,
Beautiful.
there's 3 people on the street.
Yeah.
All of you. We're not even getting off. Now we got a little retaining wall on this side and the trail. The trail's on your side.
It is. There's the Monon Trail, and this I like. Rails with trails. See that? It can be done. Look, I acknowledge corridor width is a big factor, and you have to get a variety of agencies to cooperate. And it struck me that maybe what works best is having the trail down first and then laying the track next to it. I don't know. Share your thoughts. Nice. Wow. Must be the Ritz around here. They got in-ground swimming pools in the backyard. Seems to be. Well, that's not in-ground. Oof. Didn't put a cover on that one. Call the pool boy. At this point, I don't know what the trail. There's a trail on that side. It disappeared from this side. Now we got this station over there.
Ridge Road, Munster Station. Watch your step, mind the gap, folks. Ridge Road, Munster.
Monster. Trail is back. The trail. It's back here alongside the tracks. Like it. Little shimmy there. Crossing tracks. No action. Look at this, we got some tracks here alongside the warehouse.
We got tracks on that side.
Mm-hmm.
In there. Side. Dolly is big house. That's an old mile marker too.
Getting a little
Alright,
glare.
gentlemen, end of the line. Just want to hop off. We're going to do a brake test and then we'll let you back on.
Right up.
Sounds good, thank you.
The next train isn't until 35. Leave at 12:35.
Ah, yeah, really great. Clean, fast, easy. Now let's take a look at my second southerly ride, this time from the westerly side of the car and through clear glass, not green tinted, but from a lower level. And it's just the highlights, not the full ride. bridge girders. Sitting on the lower level, this is what you see, unfortunately. So if you have the chance, grab a bi-level and get up high so you can see over them and you can see what's crossing under the bridge. I'm riding at an off-peak hour here where much of the rush hour equipment rests until the next rush hour. This is Hammond.
Doing good, man. You set previously activated tickets, guys. That's all we have. I see it's active, sir. Thank you.
No train horns along the route. You know, I never get used to this. Take notice that there are 2 crossing gates at each side of the tracks. When the gates lower, they quite nearly meet to close off the roadway. And that's the safety angle. Safety in the absence of sounds to alert the driver. They don't quite touch, but they do extend across the entire driving surface. Here again, rail with trail. You can have the bike path and the train too. Here's the proof. Munster Ridge, the next to last stop before Dyer. You can see cars parked in the distance for the morning commute, park and ride. You're seeing CSX track here. The Amtrak Cardinal also uses this track in addition to the CSX freight. The CSX track runs parallel to the Monon corridor the rest of the way to Dyer Station. We have a CSX milepost here, milepost 27. More specifically, milepost OOQ 227. OOQ referring to the Monon subdivision. And now, rolling into Munster Dyer Station, the southern terminus and the end of the line. And you can see there's a lot of park and ride action here too. I'll give you a better look at that in just a second. First, I gotta get off this train.
All right, so I'm at Dyer, and this train has one level on all the cars. When Craig and I rode it last week, we had a train that had Metro cars. I believe it was Metro. Yeah, Metro. And there were two levels. And so like junior high schoolers, we ran up to the top and rode up high, which was fun. And it did allow us to see over the girders on the bridges, which was really handy. So very much like that. But this new car here I really like because of the charging stations for both USB-A and USB-C. And I mean, who knows, maybe there's skimmers who have all my personal information now, I don't know. We'll see.
Let's take a look from above at Munster Dyer Station. You see the train I got off of sitting there ready to take its next run, and you notice that there's a station to the left of that train, and to the right, well, there's a parking lot and there's an enclosure. How do they get from one place to the other? There's a large parking lot to the right just off camera. Let's show you how that's done. It either had to be over or under, right? This case under, a really nice box culvert.
With the CSX milepost, I mean, L&N took over Monon, and CSX took over L&N.
So OOQ
Yeah.
must be the designation for the old line.
Yeah. Someone could tell us what that means. I don't know what all that means.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need some concrete experts for that.
Built in 2023, and it's this tunnel that passes under the tracks. A crossover. Yeah, Echo. So you can cross safely. Now we're getting our steps in, on the steps. Oh, there's a ramp. Could have done that. A lot of parking. Looks like a lot of people using it.
Yeah, a lot over here, for sure.
Yeah.
You emerge from the underpass, and an ocean of parking opens up. While a fair amount of it is in use, you can see that the South Shore folks are thinking about the future, that this is really going to come into a lot of use, and there's room to grow. Now let's shift over and watch my train depart Munster Dyer Station. My plan here was to catch the next one, after making observations of the station and the surrounding areas.
Now here's something else that's cool. The South Shore app. This is the train tracker. Now I'm down at the furthest southernmost extent of the line at Dyer, and the train is making its way to me. Sorry about the shaky hands, that's what I have. But it's showing me where the train is. And that's lovely. There, just moved. So that's lovely because, if you've got stuff to pack up, and I do because I'm charging a phone and got my stuff scattered out over here, and then I want to shoot the train coming in after all, to the trains. Yeah. So, but anyway, this app is really nice. I love that it shows where your train is. Just another cool thing. I guess I may as well show that too. There's one of those vending things. You can buy the tickets on the app as I did, or you can buy tickets at these kiosks. Cool. Handy.
We're looking at an exterior wall on the platform of the station. All the information you could really want. I mean, you got the map, you've got the timetable, and then above you have lighted with times. This is fantastic and easy to use.
It's pretty cool. The signals flipped red as it crossed. Like it. We should see this on the nearer signals here. I'll move up.
Once aboard, I saw this and I thought, wow, these are people after my heart, I tell you. I love it when things are on time. Get your act together, be on time, get on the darn train before it's going to take off. Don't show up and think, oh, they'll just hold it for me. Sorry, I'll get off the soapbox now. And now, the return trip to Hammond. Well, and if not green tint, there's this on the windows. Again, the commuters will love it. The tourists like me, not so much. Oh, well, you've seen the highlights of this route already. From both sides of the train, even. So we'll just skip a bit, brother, and go to Hammond.
Check out that track.
Now, I believe the purpose of this is for trains that are stopping at the platform. They'll use the rail that is nearest to the platform. And if they're bypassing the station, then they'll use the track that's furthest from it.
They get there in 2 trains that leave and that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I'd like to get out there and see that sometime.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot to be.
Yeah, very historical.
Very,
Especially this year, you probably get a lot of customers this year.
It is going to be too crowded, so they don't come down. We'll see. I don't know. As long as I get to share a little bit of history with people, I'm good.
Here comes my train at Hammond, going to Chicago. This was a heck of a day for me. Started at 6 a.m. in Indianapolis, took the Amtrak Cardinal to Chicago, then the South Shore to Hammond, the Monon corridor out and back, and now returning to Chicago. Whew. Made me think it was an alcove for a second there. As you can see, there is plenty of rail to be excited about just by riding the South Shore from Hammond up to Chicago. At rush hour like this, there are plenty of metro trains to see as well. Lots of commuter action. And into Chicago. I hope you've enjoyed the little bonus coverage here. Didn't exactly advertise riding the leg from Hammond to Chicago, but I did have to get to the Monon after all, and then back to Chicago. So, here's a nice South Shore train on its way south towards Hammond. Well, in another video, I will show a day's worth of shooting commuter action in Chicago. Sometime soon. Look for that. Thanks for hopping aboard for another installment of Bituminous Kole. Remember, Join me every Wednesday, 7 p.m., every Sunday, 7 p.m., for new episodes of Bituminous Kole. Join me and I'll take you to the trains.